I feel like insecurities are things that men don't really talk about, you know?
Yeah, no.
And I think it's because of the whole like macho thing that we don't have emotions. We're just we're just guys. But like, what are some kind of things you've kind of struggled with or battled with?
I've struggled with a lot, man. Where do I even start? I think it all boils down to me not knowing who I am and just going through life, just allowing life to do me rather than me living life, if that makes sense. And then also relationships, all of that stuff contributes, because people may say things that might not have been spiteful, but because you are dealing with things that they might not know about, hit you in a different way. So a lot of things that I like, insecurities is more like appearance. How do I look? Like, am I skinny? Like, do I need to put on muscles? You know, social media as well, fam. Like, you're on social media, you see girls saying, "Oh, I need like guys with dark guys with a 6-pack that are like 6'2". Then me now I'm going to look at myself in the mirror and I say, "Oh, am I 6'2"?" Like, I remember one time I searched up on Google like when I was like 17, 18. I was like, bro, I can't remember. I remember clearly. Yeah, I went to Poundland and I bought Simply Oats. I said no. I just started eating oats, but. Yeah,
to bulk or to go
to grow. Like I started eating oats, but yeah. So I'll say height, size, obviously finances, definitely. That's a main thing.
Yeah.
You know, what car you're driving, crepes, clothes. You know, for guys it's really hard. Like you go to like Primark or any store, like you go to the women's section, they have selection.
Yeah.
But the man them is like, it's either you're wearing designer or you're not really doing nothing really. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff I dealt with. But yeah, like
I feel like the funny thing though with that, I think my brain is just so different, because I feel like you can be wearing, I can make Zara look like 7 bills. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is Zara, this is probably Bershka, and it's like I don't have to ball out and spend £800 on a pair of jeans.
You're confident in yourself though.
I guess so. I think, and I guess that's probably a privilege that I have. But I genuinely get that. I genuinely understand why people will struggle with that. Because if you're constantly seeing the image of this is the definition of masculinity, you must be Anthony Joshua. You know, you must be tall, you must be ripped and whatnot.
Or Ovi.
Or Ovi. Dark and handsome.
Bro, do you know how many people are playing basketball? Like, how many men have started playing basketball now because they want to be Ovi, like, and then this whole tattoo thing that's going around now, everyone's getting tats. You know,
I feel like people have been getting tats though, but maybe
not as much.
Really?
Actually, I don't know. Do you know what? Yeah, I don't have any stats, so I don't really want to say what I don't know. But I feel like there's been like a massive rise on that. Like,
what have my insecurities been? I've had physical insecurities.
Like what?
Stuff I won't say on camera. But I've had physical insecurities. Actually, no, I'll say it. I naturally have like deep set like pockets under my eyes, so it looks like I haven't slept.
Okay.
But in essence, I can sleep for 14 hours and still have bags under my eyes. Yeah. And growing up, that was a major thing for me. I remember I tried to go and get surgery once, and the doctor was like, "I'm too young for it. That I need to wait till I'm older." And then a lot of people don't actually know this. I actually have fillers in my face.
Oh right.
I got fillers in my face right now.
Mad.
Yeah. So
I didn't even know that.
The pharmacist, or not pharmacist, whatever you call them, they put some filler to raise my cheekbones, and then they put like some fillers under my eyes, which like made a major difference. And like I have felt majorly confident since then. That's why I always used to kind of like wear sunglasses back in the day to know we could kind of see what I go on. But that was one of my insecurities. That is the major insecurity that I've had, because I feel like being forget me having to be on television like for presenting or performing, but just being a normal human being, just being presentable. You don't want to look like you're tired all the time.
Exactly.
You know, I remember people say to me, "Oh, don't you sleep?" I got to say, "Oh, I got hay fever." Do you know what I mean? Something like that. And, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean," but deep down it's burning me. So that was one of my insecurities. The money aspect, I've never struggled with money, but I think because I've always been like since secondary school, I've been the cool kid, you know, so I've never felt like I want to be amongst. I've never ever felt like that. So I think because I haven't felt like that, I've never really struggled in that capacity. But I get it, man. Like, before I got my present car, in my last car, you know, like if you're going out to a function, you might not want to park in the front. You might want to park like...
Exactly. Do you know how many guys do that?
Yeah, you might want to park like 1 or 2 roads away, but nah, I don't mind parking in the front. Do you know what I mean? So I genuinely get that. And it's just, I think it's really down to society and acceptance. And I'm grateful that my girlfriend, she's not materialistic. She loved me with my previous car, loves me with my present car. If I didn't have a car, she'll still love me. And I think, again, it's down to your surrounding and your environment. If you're around level-headed people, or actually, let me not say level-headed, because I don't want to sound like you can't be level-headed. But if you're in an environment where you kind of tell people that, big man, don't worry about that. The issue is that people, the issue is we lack instant gratification.
Thank you. Yeah.
You want to ball out at 23, pull up in the Range Rover. At 23, not that you can't achieve anything at 23, but it's like at 23, a lot of 23-year-olds don't know what they're doing. A lot of 40-year-olds don't know what they're doing. They're just trying to get by. But when you're trying to do that instant gratification thing, you get caught in habits. I learnt the other day now, they announced last week that Selfridges are now going to be renting out clothes.
Oh, bro.
So now I'm going to be hiring drip. And it's like, it's never that deep.
I saw that, yeah. I didn't even know what to say.
You go link a babes and she steals your hoodie and you're thinking, how am I going to tell her? How am I going to tell her that man's got 7 days to return the drip back? Do you know what I mean?
What, Klarna? Is it Klarna?
Yeah, I'm Klarna. Yeah.
That thing ruins your credit, apparently.
Yeah, so I just feel like I genuinely get the struggle that people go through. But I just feel like if we're able to have conversations like such and just change your circle that you're with and what you feed yourself, you'll realize that, you know what, let me quote unquote suffer now, quote unquote, and enjoy later. I
think you hit the nail on the head. It is to do a lot with definitely what you're feeding your mind, what you're watching, what you spend your time doing, and who your friends are. Like, if you are someone who grew up with like friends that, you know, probably don't have a 9 to 5, that are doing fraud, that are doing a mad thing, and they're dripping out, but you're trying to do this, it's only a matter of time where you're gonna now jump on and start doing madness just to keep up. Like, men, it's so crazy because us men that actually speak about insecurities, we don't speak about it at all, but a lot of us are dealing with so much that's breaking a lot. I'm seeing like 16, 17-year-olds wearing Balenciaga, Dior, like.
But them man are banned from Dagenham, Dave. Them are not going, like, if you think about it, how are you, unless you're going country and selling drugs, how you actually,
this is what I'm saying,
like, do you even have an NI number yet?
Oh my God.
Like, how are you actually making that money?
It's stupid
to finance that. So unless you're either stealing it or whatnot, it's probably not real. But if you keep on feeding yourself some of the rappers on GRM Daily who are pulling up in these things and I look up to XYZ, you're gonna want to go and do that. Even me, sometimes when I'm in fancy places, or like if I get picked up in a Rolls Royce or whatever, I'll try not to snap it, because it's like, although it's innocent, I don't want a young kid being like, I want to have the stars on the ceiling. Because although it's nice to have, I don't really want to be the reason that pressure, because I can't even afford it. I don't own the Rolls Royce, whatever they pick me, the car to pick me up in, whatever day it is. But so I'm just conscious that I don't want to give off an image
that you can't sustain.
Not that I can't sustain, but I don't want to give off an image that makes other people now go to extreme lengths to try to live up to. Because even me, I can't even attain that.
See, this is what someone was saying, because I saw it on social media, I can't remember who was saying, and people were just saying, you know how people are, when people post their lifestyle, people are like, why are you showing off? To some people, this is their day-to-day life.
Bro, it's day-to-day life.
So it's like, you now want me to change what I see, or change what I put online, especially social media where it's meant to be my page. This is me. You're now saying that I should dull down because you don't want to feel a certain way. I don't really.
I get both angles, because if this is the life you live, it's the life you live. Like, how can you? But I think on the contrary, sometimes people do it to flex on others, to belittle people.
Okay, yeah.
So if you, like, for example, name me a young black footballer. Maybe Arsenal, Chelsea, Man U, a young black footballer.
I don't even watch football too tough still.
Who's the guy? Raheem Sterling.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Raheem.
Raheem Sterling, yeah.
He's a G.
If he's snapping,
Shout out Raheem Sterling.
if he's snapping behind a Lamborghini, that's not flexing, because that's just the life he lives.
lifestyle.
If Stormzy is just snapping, it's not flexing. And the difference why I can say Stormzy and despite he's a rapper is because from Stormzy's character, you know he's not trying to flex.
He's not.
Because although he might have one or two lyrics that might say whatever, you know deep down he's not actually on the flex.
He dropped a bar the other day. He was saying something like he doesn't even snap in a private jet because it's his lifestyle. It's not anything to him.
Exactly. So, but then certain man will love to snap at Nobu or love to snap, not because they're enjoying the meal, but just so you know that I'm above you, I'm better than you, I'm here. So I feel like when it kind of gets to that level where you're trying to belittle people, like for example, like fraud guys will say, get your money up. Bro, you're doing illegal activity and you're belittling people who are having legitimate jobs. So for me, I'm against that. Prime example, someone like Hush Puppy. You know, man was doing the madness, but now look,
they finished him.
And there's even a Bible scripture that says something like, dishonest money dwindles away, but honest money lasts. Somewhere in Proverbs, I think it is. And it's like, bro, I would rather you love me for who I am than for who I'm not. You know, if I have to put on drip for you to love me, you're not my friend. You know, my friends, when I was renovating my house, we had dust covers over. My boys came to my house, they chilled in the dust. We watched Netflix in the dust. You know, that's friendship. Them man loved me whilst nothing was even looking plush. And I feel like the more we're able to embrace our true self, it would help us. A lot of guys don't speak about insecurities, but if I'm correct, we have one of the highest rates of suicide.
Oh my days, it's so crazy, man. It's so crazy. I've always dealt with insecurities, but okay, so one of my massive insecurities is that I'm quite in tune with my emotions. Now for a guy, that could be seen as man up, bro. Do you know what I mean? I'm the type of guy that I hug my boys, like, you know, Jolla, Charles. I hug my boys. I'm like, I love you, bro. Like, but sometimes they look at me, they're like, yo, relax. Like, it's kind of like men feel like we have to be, like, I don't know. It's like we can't cry. Like I used to be, not I was a crybaby, but I was just very open to my emotions and I accepted them. Do you know what I mean? Even now, I'm trying to get back to that place because I kind of felt like I had to dull that down. Like when I'm angry or when I'm upset, I shouldn't cry. Do you know what I mean? I shouldn't show my emotions. But as I've been growing up now, I've just been noticing that I'm actually killing myself. Because emotions are human factors. They're things that we're meant to. If you don't have emotions, you need to pray. That's scary. It's
funny, people like say men don't have emotions or whatever. Have you ever watched a football match, bruv?
Oh my days.
Certain men will be screaming and howling high pitch when their team scores or whatnot.
But we get it from girls as well though. Girls now say that they want men that are in tune with their emotions, but when they actually have it, I feel like it's a different thing. It's like they want it, but they want it to a certain degree. You can't do that.
Yeah, I think it's just down to unlearning the narratives that we've been taught. You know, the narrative we've been taught is that men, you know, man up, you know, be a man. But then now, then on the flip side, people complain and say, "Oh my God, my man, he's not really like emotional, or he doesn't really like X, Y, Z." And I think the more we suppress that, you know, I tell my boys I love them all the time, you know, and I think it's beautiful that we do their things and we encourage that type of behavior, and we encourage an environment for men to open up. Another thing, we should never take social media for face value.
Yeah.
Because social media is fake. Instagram is fake.
It's a bubble, man.
And Instagram, you only post a highlight reel. You only post the good stuff. Because when you're doing up vacation with wifey, you'll post that, but you're not going to post when you and wife had an argument.
Yeah.
So now you're going to think Will Smith and Jada are the perfect couple, and then now you hear about what's going on, and you're like, oh my gosh, and someone said, oh, I've lost all hope if Will and Jada break up.
No,
when
do you know the big
one? Gone.
The big one was Taro and Nikita.
Nikita, yeah.
That one, the comments that I saw, I was just like, are you okay? How can you live your life based off someone else's relationship? Yeah. Girls are like, I can't believe, like, see, this is why men are crazy. This is why men are this, and that. And I'm just thinking, yo, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, life happens. Like, these guys are only going to show you the good parts of their life. You're never going to see people's ins and outs. Yeah. Going off what you were saying anyway. Yeah, sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, so I feel like, social media is never real. And I think once you realize that there's a life beyond social media, like, people get cancelled on Twitter all the time, but they're still functioning outside. The first person in history, in my opinion, to be cancelled is Wiley. Wiley is the only person, in my opinion, that's actually been cancelled because he's been taken off online and offline. You know, that's when and maybe someone like R. Kelly, you know, to take his music off certain platforms and whatever, and this and that. But the more that we realize that we are bigger than what we're chasing. Do you want someone to love you for you or for what you have?
Exactly.
You know, like, man them will use their money and their cars to attract women. Then you call them a gold digger. That's the bait you use to draw her. If it's your character that you use to attract a woman, then brilliant, so be it. The drip and whatever should be a bonus.
That's where insecurities come in. Because we quote that with money. We quote that with the GLE. We quote that with the Rolls Royce, you know, the drip, the nice cars and stuff. If you sit a lot of man them down and just try and speak to them about them, like, yo bro, who are you? Like, take off the Dior. Like, you know, some guys can't actually stand in the mirror and look at themselves naked. No homo. Like, we're dealing with so much it's just not public. Do you know what I mean? So we hide it. Like, a lot of us have some dirty secrets.
And I get it. Like, a lot of us were products of our environment. You know, if you grew up in an area or if you grew up in an environment, a lot of people come from maybe like, might come from the estate background or the gang background or the gang affiliated. So you're not in a gang, but you know the bad boys, innit? So because you know the bad boys, you know how they roll. So you kind of want to roll like that a little, or you don't carry a knife. You're not into beef, but you know that my truckie's got. I've got to have the nice truckie as well, just so the man them know. So I genuinely get it, and I never judge anyone that goes through that because I think like it's a normal thing. But I think it's now time to unlearn what we're going with and be like, man, them, speak up. And social media isn't always. It's never the place.
It's never the place.
Or it's never the first place, the first point of contact to air your laundry. You know, take it offline, talk to the man them. I believe every single person. That's a major problem. Every single person needs therapy. You think you don't?
No, you do.
I don't think I need therapy.
You do.
But I know I need therapy.
You do. You
every single
do.
person that needs it.
Describe therapy though. Is that time by yourself where you just sink in?
Well, time by yourself.
Actually speaking to somebody.
Time by yourself would be self-discovery and self-therapy, but actually going to a therapist, a counselor, and say, you know what, this is me. Who are you? Because therapists, clinical therapists, they know the right questions to ask to unlock, and you realize that, like,
what am I doing?
So why are you a womanizer? Well, I like women. Okay, well, tell me about your relationship with your dad. I don't know my dad. Okay, so how was that growing up? No, I hate him, man. You know, like he forced me to kind of be a man in the house because he wasn't there. Oh, okay, cool. So what's your definition of masculinity? You know, like money, provision, just being the man.
Exactly.
And as she's asking that, it's unraveling things. Provision, money. So how are you getting money? By any means necessary. So now you're selling drugs, whatever. And now you're equating masculinity with finance, provision. Being braggadocious, sleeping with women, conquering women. So they're able to ask these questions to unravel things, and you realize, flip, I am this because of the absence.
Even I had like a wake up moment. Like, I would even say, due to my insecurities, I lost my virginity at 21. Like, because I was telling my boys, and it was just kind of like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? Even girls will say to me sometimes, what? You don't have game. Do you know what I mean? It might be banter, but when you're around people like that, or you're hearing those kind of things, you go online, you see stuff on Twitter like, I can never be a virgin, he needs to know what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. If you're not self-conscious and you know this is what, like, if I was bold enough and I knew that, okay, this is why I'm a virgin, I'm not doing it because I want to show off, I'm doing it because blah blah blah, I'm trying to do this Christian walk properly, blah blah blah, this and that, then maybe I would have kept it.
Yeah.
But because I was just genuinely a virgin. I was doing other things, but I was a virgin. So I kind of felt like, nah, man, I need to fit in with the guys. Yeah. So I did. I ended up having sex. I ended up doing a mad thing. But when I now sat back down later and I now looked at myself, I said, first of all, this is not you. You have an older sister, you have a mum, and you love them both. And I would just see it like, damn, like, I personally don't believe you can do anything in your youth or even in life and it won't come back to you. I don't know how it will come back to you. Whether you know or you don't know, it will come back to you. So I was thinking, I'm dealing with all these girls, I'm doing this. But sometimes us men, we don't actually know that we're hurting people. So it's like, because of your insecurities, you're now messing up other people's lives or causing pain for other people. Like, that's why insecurity is so... It's such a deep subject. I don't even know. I don't think we'll be able to finish it here.
They say that hurt people hurt people. So just using that analogy of people doing X, Y, Z, I think the issue is a lot of men are probably responding from a broken place.
Exactly.
And because they're broken, you know, and
how many men are actually aware of that though? Like, do they know that, or do they just feel like? Because at the time that I was doing my stuff, I was just thinking, I'm part of the guys. Like, this is cool. Like, I've got different girls. Like, but it's not. It's like, it's the weakest thing you can do.
Quite often we see the fruit, but we don't see the root.
Exactly.
Of that, you know. So the manifestation might be sleeping around with bare girls or whatever, or doing the madness or disrespecting women, but the root of that is a insecurity deep within. And I believe that every human being is created with a void that only God can fill. And we're gonna forever be chasing momentary pleasures and momentary satisfaction, but that thing will eventually fade. Once you truly put God in that position that He has crafted, or that hole that He has. God is smart, and I'll tell you why. When you're praying for whether it's a new job or permanent stay in the UK or to get into education, you fast, you pray, you get to church before the pastor, you even give 14% tithe. Once God answers your prayers, all of that diminishes. You don't go to church anymore, you slack a bit. So God knows that God knows we have to be dependent on Him for Him to keep us. Do you know what I mean? If that makes any sense. Yeah. Because it's just a fact. It's a fact. And I feel that's why God has this void that only He can fill. He would allow us to go left and right. We're going to eventually come back to that place.
Definitely. No, I definitely agree. Let's go a bit deeper though.
Yeah.
Let's talk about men and sex.
Yeah.
And just even physical things. So there's a lot like with women going online saying stuff like, if a guy's small, you know, we're talking about his penis, by the way. If a guy's small, you know, he can't do this and that. My question is like, a lot of men are dealing with that insecurity of they don't know whether they're big or they're small, or where do you think like that comes from? Like all these kind of...
It comes from pornography.
Cool.
Pornography has perverted sex. So sex isn't what it actually is or is meant to be. And I think men being worried, so the whole narrative of if a man's not whatever inches and he's not big enough for me, that narrative then comes, I think it's on both sides, because naturally men would like curvy women with a fuller figure, you know, and that probably again might stem from pornography or maybe just from culture or whatever. But I understand why men would struggle with that. And you can be married, unmarried, Christian, atheist, whatever. And I will give you the logic behind that. Sex is an intimate act between a man and woman, and I will go further and say husband and wife. Now,
meant to be anyway.
Now, with sex being sex, you want to pleasure your partner. So, in essence, is my participation in this act, am I satisfying my wife? Now, in satisfying my wife, it might be then, am I big enough? You know, so I genuinely get the insecurities that men would go through when it comes to that. How can you combat that? I don't know. I would never advise anyone to take enhancement pills, whatever.
No, man.
But I just feel like you just got to make it work. You know, but the insecurity for some men is there. I've honestly, I guess maybe because I haven't had sex, it's a bit different for me, but I've never ever thought am I big enough? You know, and maybe, and without being crude, maybe I am big enough. I don't know, but I've never had to have that struggle.
Thought,
And even going back to the whole virgin thing before, like a woman saying, or men and women saying, I'll never be with a virgin. Well, we were all virgins at one point. We all had to learn. I don't know if anyone is ever. I don't think anyone is ever born being an intermediate. An intermediate sexual partner, you know, and I think, and then even going back to that, so for people who might be pressured thinking, oh, I need to have sex, so I'm not a virgin, you can always learn. Because
like that's what I don't understand. Like, it's not meant to be something
because if Jackie likes it that way, Melissa might not like it that way, you know. So never feel pressured to start having sex early so you can be seasoned. It's not about being seasoned. It's not about just being responsive to what your partner likes. But I get the insecurity about men wanting to do that. But once we remove the perversion of pornography,
that's a massive
which is difficult. Once you remove that, we realize sex was not what we think it is. And if you're constantly feeding yourself that pornography, that will forever be the standard of what sex is when pornography is not real.
I don't even know what to say. Pornography is a massive one. Like that one is just killing people. Even women, like a lot of girls are getting BBLs now. That's like a massive thing. I don't know. I think we all have our compromises as men and women. But I'm just aiming here to get I don't know. I want to get out a message of how we can deal with that. Even for me personally, before I started this talk show, it took me so much. I was thinking, I'm not good enough. Who am I to speak? Like, what am I doing? But I had to, my way of dealing with this was understanding that I am worth doing this. My story matters. Like, who I am matters. Like, Jackie might not actually get anything from this video, but Sam might. So I feel like we really need to take time to sit down with ourselves and have conversations. I even called you. Remember, I called you. I was like, yo, is this thing gonna happen? Like, what do you think? Should I do it? I don't know. What advice do you have for people? Like, how would you speak to somebody who's dealing with insecurities? Like, they really have something that they want to do, and they just, especially the guys, like.
If possible, try find an accessible mentor in that field, and then write down the reason why you want to do it, and then find out what your story is. Everyone loves someone with a story, and I guess that's what makes your viewers relatable to you. Yeah. Because when they hear now that, oh snap, Pepper struggled with this, I struggled with that too. That will be something that keeps your audience and will allow you to be human. You know, just be human and be vulnerable within reason. I say within reason because there's not everything you can put out on the internet if you're not ready to discuss it.
Exactly.
So for example, this isn't my struggle, but there's no point me talking about masturbation. Yeah. And then if someone says to me on the road or on Twitter, hey, how's your struggle going? I don't talk about that. But you put it out on the internet.
Exactly. So yeah. I don't
it's
get
natural
that one.
for me to ask you that. You know. So, but I'll say it's very normal. I doubt myself still today about certain things. I think every person doubts themselves, but what do you do with that doubt? Yeah. You should allow that to propel you to something greater, because it's just going to forever eat at you when you see someone else less qualified, in inverted commas, succeeding at something that you yourself know you can do better. Exactly. Yeah. You know, so take it baby steps at a time. Baby steps at a time. Learn from those who have gone before you. Be a student first. You know, the greatest teachers are still students. Yeah. So be a student of what you want and just put your best foot forward. Definitely. And you don't have to be glossy and start with like sick cameras. You can start on an iPhone. Yeah, exactly. Know? A lot of big YouTubers eventually started on their iPhones, and as the following grew, as things progressed, they were able to get like a DSLR, they were able to get like an external microphone, they were able to get better software so that they could get it at a better standard. So just start. You don't have to be great to be started, but you have to start in order to be eventually great. So. And
your worth, so you're needed. Like, we need you. Like, I think that's what really pushed me to like go ahead and just start this and just say, do you know what? Whatever happens. Like, this is what is in my heart. I can't sleep. I can't rest. This has been on my heart from like 17. I didn't have the ideas of Pepper Talks, but I just knew that I want to talk on things that are not spoken about, that I've always been aware about from a young age. So I just feel like, to anyone watching this, like, just love yourself. You need to love yourself, encourage yourself. Whenever you hear yourself doubting yourself, speak to yourself. Like, speak words of affirmation, love. You are worthy. We do need you. The world needs you. We need your message and we need your skills and talents. But yeah, man, this is crazy. There's so much we can go into.
And I was gonna say, like, congratulations and well done. You know, that you've actually taken the bold step, because it's not easy, man. It's not easy to do. So I wish you all the best. For everyone watching, like, comment, subscribe, share,
comment, subscribe,
all that good stuff. And let's get Pepper Talks out to the masses, man.
Let's go, man. Dope.